Does confidence really matter? I want to talk about this today as we walk through this sports shop that I got some footage from. And, I wanted to talk about confidence, right? And what does it mean? And also, do you really need it? And what exactly is it? Because sometimes, in our society, I guess we talk about how confidence is like, you have to sort of walk or you have to look sort of a certain way, and that will sort of affect change. And, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I agree with it or that I think that it's necessary to succeed. And, I understand that in some ways, like, yes, I guess if you wear, in some contexts, I guess it's, like, I guess if you're getting married or something, people dress up or whatever. But I'm talking more in terms of just in life. And, if you are trying to do something, and how do you approach it? And does it affect what you're doing? And in my view, I think that confidence is, I think that it might not be as important. And I want to look at this from a certain perspective, which is that perhaps you don't need confidence. And more importantly, it might be better to experiment and just do the right thing. Sometimes just showing up and turning up is stronger than confidence. Sometimes, a lot of times, how you feel, you're not always going to feel confident when you're trying to do something, when you're trying to make a decision, especially if it's like, if there's a time limit, right? Sometimes you have to step up and do what you have to do. And while you're doing it, you don't have even time to think about it. And so in your mind, you're actually going through, you're actually, you don't feel confident, right? But it's in those moments. I noticed that in those moments when you don't feel confident, but you need to step up, that's often the time when, when you have to sort of make your move. And so it becomes more important to just turn up and show up, even if you're not confident in yourself, and so in that sense, that's one way of how I'm looking at it, where I'm saying that, you don't need confidence because sometimes you don't feel confident, but you still have to step up, you still have to, do the job. You still have to do what you have to do. And now there's another way of looking at confidence, which is that some people say, another way of thinking about confidence is that if you're not confident in something, it means you're not good at it or you haven't practiced it enough. And that's a different kind of confidence, I think, because that's the confidence that comes from knowing what to do. And so that's an entirely different topic. So I'm not really talking about that aspect of confidence. The idea that, if you're good at something, obviously you're going to be confident at it because you know how to do it. And so the solution to that, if you don't feel confident in doing something, obviously just practice it and then you'll be good at it. So that solves that problem. But that's not really what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is the instance where sometimes you have to step up and do something and you just need courage, but you don't feel, you need courage to step up and there's not enough time for you to learn how to do it. And so this is more about decisions and being able to sort of solve problems that come your way, and you might not have the ability to make another decision. And in those cases, you need to just show up and turn up, and a lot of times, of course, you can experiment and become confident. And I guess what I'm saying is that you can experiment, and that's how you will get better at something. Experimentation is when, if you want to learn how do you get better at something, you just keep doing it over and over again. And sometimes, you might not look confident doing it, believe it or not. People sometimes think, right, like, I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody sees the work that you do, it doesn't matter how you look, right? Or how sometimes, somebody who is the best at something, they might not look like they're the best at it, So in that sense, I would say that confidence perhaps is not the most important thing. It doesn't matter, because some people, they just don't look confident. That's just kind of part of their personality. So that's another way of looking at this. And, but the solution to having confidence, and another way to look at it is, a lot of people think like, oh, that person looks confident, or that person, and how do you do that? And is that something that you should try to do? Is that something that you just put on yourself, without any reason, right? Like some people, they might be walking or dressing a certain way, but there's no reason for them to be doing that. They're just kind of playing dress up, right? Or they're looking a certain way, but they're not actually feeling that way. I know that might sound weird, but it's kind of this idea of looking like you're confident. But I don't know that that's accurate in my view. Nor do I think that it's, I don't think that's not even true confidence in my view. Looking a certain way is not true confidence. And the reason why is because true confidence is something that will happen naturally. It's not something that you consciously think about. So to give an example, if you've ever met somebody who's worked hard at something, right? Or somebody who has spent a long day at work, right? Or any scenario where somebody has done something amazing, right? Something that took a lot of effort, automatically their face and their body is automatically going to sort of reflect that. And so you don't have to pretend to be confident. It'll just come out by you doing it. And your version of confidence is going to come out. And the thing is, there's not one version of confidence. All of us, if we have if we do a good job at something, right? We're all going to look a little different, but we're all going to feel it, and we won't even notice it. But other people, hopefully, other people will. They'll notice like, whoa, even though you might not, and that's what's crazy is that you won't realize it, but other people will realize the effort and the confidence that you have. And so in a way, another way to look at confidence is not something you can control. Confidence is something that's going to come once you have done your work, once you have done sort of once you have gone through, once you've put all of your efforts and once you've done the work, once you've done all the preparation and you've learned your skills, the confidence will come as a result of that. And so the meaning of confidence is not going to be what society typically might say confidence is, but instead confidence will just be the reflection of who you are as a person who has dominated and who has gained control and who has grown and gained mastery and gained expertise in a subject or in whatever it is that you are trying to do. And so that, when you look at it that way, it should make you feel like, that confidence. I guess what I'm saying is that sometimes I feel like people don't understand what confidence is, or they think that, oh, well, just be confident, as if it's something that you can just snap your finger and be. And I don't know that that's the case. Before you can be confident, you need to be courageous and you need to just step out there. And you're not going to be confident. Of course not, because you're starting out, right? You don't know what you're doing. You're not good at it. So you can't be confident. So you can't tell someone who has no skills, we'll just be confident. Like, you can't. But that's okay, is what I'm saying. So sometimes, confidence is not something, it's not necessary, is what I'm saying. You just need to show up and turn up and do, and just show up and then try your best to grow in that scenario. And then the next time, and keep experimenting. Experimenting means that you keep doing something over and over again until you figure out how it's done, right? You try to find some pattern, and it's not something that happens quickly either. It can happen over months, and you could be mistaken. So all of that. And then, of course, the courage is about when you approach a situation and you don't, obviously, it's a little, because anytime you're doing something new, it's going to feel a little uneasy. It's going to feel different. You're not going to feel comfortable, and that's okay. But the more you put yourself out there, the more you fail, basically, allow yourself, but then you improve, right? Try to make improvements, try to figure out, okay, next time I'll do this, next time. And then that will result in you, see, you're not confident at that point, and it's not really about looking a certain way, because at the end of the day, if you look a certain way, you can dress and try to act, quote unquote, like you are confident, but really you're not actually accomplishing anything. So in that sense, the confidence is it's not really going to take you anywhere in my view, because you need reality. You need to actually have skills. You need to actually do what you're doing. And in the end, it's not going to carry you through, in my view. Like if somebody is just kind of pretending to be confident, if they just, they think that if you act a certain way or dress a certain way, that it'll automatically sort of turn you into, someone who's talented or has skills. But I would say that that's not what confidence is about. And so in a way, you don't even need that.